Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Market Roundup. If it's your first time here, please make sure to like, subscribe and share. Today we'll be talking about an important topic, agriculture in Nigeria. My name is Inchedo
and I'm Gwemi,
and this is Market Roundup.
So agriculture, as we all know what agriculture means. So we're just going to dive into the roles of agriculture in an economy. And the first role of agriculture is food security, ensuring that everyone in an economy or in a country have food on their table. Agriculture is the only sector that always has demand for the product. So it's just left for the country to supply food. So one of the roles of agriculture is ensuring that everybody has food.
Another role of agriculture in an economy is diversification. For a country like Nigeria, we know that our focus, our main objective, in quotes, is oil. Yeah. So, and like we explained in our previous vlogs, the price of oil is determined in international market. And so it doesn't really make any sense for you to let something that is determined in international market rule you, which is why agriculture is so important in Nigeria. It's another sector whereby you literally diversify, like you focus or you channel your energy in, so that when there's shock in oil, you don't shake as a country because you have agriculture to fall back on. And another role is provision of foreign exchange through export. If we have a thriving agricultural sector, they'll be able to produce enough for the country and enough to even take out. And then we can get valuable foreign exchange, and we would have enough to
we will not have FX issues.
Exactly, we wouldn't have foreign exchange issues, and we would have enough to fall back on in the case of a shaking in the oil prices. Yeah, one other role agriculture plays in the economy is a massive employer of labor. So everybody, whenever you hear agriculture, people think it's just the rural people in the rural area that get the opportunity to, work in the agricultural sector per se. But now there are so many agri-tech companies coming up. There's Thrive Agri, there's Farm Crowdy, there's so many of them. And these businesses actually employ financial analysts.
Exactly.
They employ developers.
Yeah, these are agricultural technology companies.
Yeah. So, gone are those days where when you call agriculture, everybody thinks you think of it.
Hope.
Being a farmer is not like it's even bad.
It's not a bad thing.
Because people are making a lot of money from me. Yeah. So agriculture employs a lot of people, not just the rural area now, but now technology has made a lot of things easier. There's now agri-businesses, agri-tech businesses, and they're employing a lot of people.
Exactly. Another role of agriculture in an economy is supply of raw materials to other industries. So if we have a thriving agricultural industry, agriculture is not only for food, it's for other raw materials, rubber, a lot of things that we would need to build, like a lot of things in the economy.
Like cocoa, we can even produce our chocolate.
We can produce our chocolate in the country. So if we have a thriving agricultural sector, it makes raw materials cheaper to source. And that way, the finished products would actually be a lot cheaper, and it would increase our GDP. Eventually.
In as much as there's so many things to talk about, so many benefits of agriculture to the economy, there's also a lot of problems. This sector is faced with a lot of problems. Number one problem I feel like we're facing in the agricultural sector is that we're not even tapping into the resources.
Exactly.
For instance, Nigeria, we don't use up to 40% of our arable land.
So we're actually falling way below our productive level.
For instance, look at Israel. Israel only has 20% of arable lands, and they produce 95% of their food.
Food security.
It's like number one thing. I feel like if you actually go hungry, I like food. I can't go hungry. Like food security
is very important.
Like you don't know the benefit of having food in your country. Okay, we don't make use of up to 40% of our arable land. That's really bad.
That's poor.
So I think that's one problem in this country. We're not focused. We're not increasing our research and development in that sector. That sector is untapped.
And another major issue that we're facing, especially in 2018 right now, security. It's so annoying that people are finally, those that, we've barely scraped the surface of agriculture in the country, and those that are even managing to do the work, people are going to threaten them in their farms, they're going to destroy their farmlands. Actually, it's like we're fighting ourselves. We're fighting food security, we're fighting revenue, we're fighting foreign exchange. It's really, really serious. Being unable to actually successfully plant without the fear of somebody stealing your land, or even the fear of your own life.
This is somebody.
Cows stealing your products.
Basically.
So it's another serious issue.
And like security is so important. Recently the Q2 report came out, and then agricultural sector declined for like the first time in years.
Exactly.
In Q1, it contributed 3% to GDP. In Q2, 1.19%. And the major reason for this is security. People are not planting as they want to. People are not harvesting as they want to. Exactly. And then people are not transporting these products. Even the ones that are harvesting, they can't transport because they are scared that there's some Fulani person on the road that's going to kill them. Like, security is so important.
In line with what Nchelu just said, logistics and infrastructure, poor transport network, poor road networks. You harvest your produce, you can't even take them to the people that need to buy them. You can't even, or somebody buys a trailer load of oranges and then it falls off on the way and the person loses all their money. It's important, it's a major issue, and it is paralyzing the agricultural sector.
And I don't even see the reason why food should be expensive in Nigeria.
It should not.
I remember one year, was it not in 2016? No, it was 2016, yes. Tomato was not even, it was maybe for 500 naira or 200 naira.
It was wild.
And really, you can't even blame the market people. You can't blame the sellers, because the person that you're telling to transport your food from the farm has to deal with bad roads.
Exactly.
Has to deal with expensive spare parts. Like, he has to fix his car because the roads are bad. By the time he transports it to the location, the seller is being charged high transportation costs.
Exactly, and the
seller has to also increase the cost of the product. So this sector is so important, but however, we're facing a lot of issues. Another issue that we're facing in the sector is financing. It's not enough for us to have arable land, but these farmers, the people that really want to dive into this sector, do they have enough finance to buy the required crops? Do they have finances to buy good crops, to buy fertilizers, to even begin mechanization, like mechanized farming? Because it's not enough for me to just wake up in the morning and gathering my children and I'm going to the farm with hoe and cutlass. No, but like, things are changing. We should take advantage of technology.
Exactly.
So these people don't have money to
go beyond their subsistence farming side.
Very true, very true.
And then another thing is poor farming methods. We do not put any effort into research and development. So basically what we do is still the subsistence level. We don't find out ways to improve productivity, to increase our harvest without doing so much, like putting in so little and getting so much. We're not doing that. So we're just
like
doing
initially we
thing.
talked about how Israel, they just have 20% arable land and they produce 95% of their food. Israel is the number one country in research and development, agricultural research and development. That's just amazing. They don't have, they know that they don't have what it takes. They don't have enough per se, but they're investing in research and development to know what it would take for them to actually get food in that nation. So I think that's another problem that we actually face, in the economy.
So we need, so now that we know the issues that we have and what role agriculture has to play, what's the way forward? What do we have to do? What does the government have to do? Let's even start with the government. What does the government have to do to improve infrastructure, to improve agriculture in the country? First and foremost, the government has to deal with the infrastructural issues. From security to preservation to transportation to everything that has to do with putting logistics in place for the farmer to successfully farm, the government has to fix. This herdsmen issue, honestly, it is long overdue. It's starting to sound it's dragging for too long. It's time for the government to actually do something to put a stop to it. So those are one of the things. That's one of the things that the government needs
to do. Another thing the government needs to do is to actually make more funds available. I know now, like there are a lot of alternatives, or rather there are even people that make funds available to farmers. So I feel like there should be more funds available to these people to be able to produce or to be able to transport their food from one location to the other. Another thing I think we need to do as individuals is to invest in this sector. There are a lot of ways to invest. So many people are asking, how can I tap into the agricultural sector? Like I mentioned earlier on, there are a lot of agri-tech businesses that you can actually invest your money in. Put your money into like good use. Put it into those businesses and they make these funds available to farmers. They even help them buy good crops. They help them supervise. They help them transport their food to end markets. Do you understand? So these are the ways you can actually participate in the agricultural sector.
Another thing that we can actually do to get involved in agriculture is creating an ecosystem, getting involved in the agricultural ecosystem. For instance, we can have an agricultural irrigation firm where all they do is provide water for farms. You can be an agricultural logistics firm where all you do is transport either farm produce or seeds and fertilizers and stuff. There are a lot of unorthodox agricultural firms that we can tap into that people aren't really looking at, and you reap the benefits at the end of the day.
Yeah, so we can actually go on and on and on about this sector. There's so many ways to just tap into this sector, like Bimi has said, and all that. So please, let's keep this conversation going. Make sure you subscribe, like, let's know what you're thinking about the agricultural sector. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.